to Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion, and learn how they can help you.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala!
All right, 5 minutes after 9 o'clock. Looks like it might rain today. In fact, there's an 80% chance it'll rain today, but that's not going to stop Veterans News. Hank Whittier is not here this morning. Gary Pascale sitting in the captain's seat. Good morning, Gary.
Good morning, Larry. Good morning, veterans, and good morning, faithful listeners. It is a beautiful day out there in terms of it's a little bit cloudy, but it's not 98 degrees out there. So I'm thankful for that, and whatever rain we get, we need. Unfortunately, Larry, we do have more casualties to announce this week. Thank God not as many as we had last week. But we do have several from the fire department. We have Captain Michael Lee Schultz, whose date of death was the 27th of July, and he was with the Hoyt Rural Fire District number 3 in Hoyt, Kansas. And we have dozer operator Robert Oliver Reagan III, who died on the 26th of July, and he was with the California Fire in Sacramento, California. We also have firefighter Ronald R. Ishman, who died on the 23rd of July, and he was with the Hilltop Volunteer Fire Department in Cyclone, Pennsylvania. And we have firefighter Edward Austin Cosgrove Jr., whose date of death was the July the 24th, and he was with the Green Township Fire Protection District in Utica, Missouri. And I have two fallen officers. We have police officer Jonathan M. D. Guzman, whose end of watch was Thursday, July 28th. He was shot at a traffic stop. And we have Sergeant Craig Thomas Hutchison of the Travis County Sheriff's Office. His end of watch was July 25th, and Sergeant Hutchison was shot and killed when he was interrupting a burglary in progress. I don't have any reports of Department of Defense casualties today, but our hearts and our prayers are with the families of these firefighters and these police officers, and we wish God's blessing on them. Larry?
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Amen. Of course, we want to thank our sponsors, the folks at Bob Wine's Camellia Garden and Nursery, who make Veterans News possible. And we want to let you know that they're located at 2610 Southeast 38th Street in our own beautiful Ocala. When it comes to your landscaping needs, Bob Wines has it. They have everything you need. If they don't have it, you probably don't need it. They have fertilizer, trees, mulch, and much more. They'll deliver. They'll plant your trees, and if they plant them, they'll guarantee them. And they've been keeping things blooming in Ocala since 1952. That's a long time. And to tell them you heard about them on WOCA radio, and if you can show them that you're a veteran, you get a 10% discount. You can't beat a deal like that. And, of course, the great folks at WOCA here, who without them it wouldn't be possible. We want to thank them for putting us on the air every week. And we do have a great show for you this morning. How long is it before we break, Larry?
We've got about 5 minutes.
We got about 5 minutes before the break, so I just got one announcement. But today we're going to talk about something that makes Ocala famous and one of the greatest places to live, and that's horses. We've got Betty with us from Stirrups and Strides, who is going to come on in just a few minutes. But I just want to make this announcement, very good announcement, and we've been waiting a long time for it. On August the 2nd, which was Tuesday, the Marion County Commission convened, and Hank Whittier signed the lease for the old bowling alley to become the Veterans Resource Center. So it's official. We hope to have probably, Hank says, a soft opening around Veterans Day, and then we hope to be up and running at full capacity around the first of the year. This is the first of its kind. It'll be a one-stop for veterans, and we look forward to great things to happen there. So keep that in your prayers, that everything goes well for this, and that the building goes fast and we get in there as soon as possible so we can do more for veterans. Okay, with that, Betty, you want us to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your program?
Sure. I'm Betty Gray, and I'm the director of Stirrups and Strides Therapeutic Riding Center, and we're located out in Citra, Florida. So we're right between Ocala and Gainesville. Not only do we provide therapeutic riding for anyone with a physical, mental, or emotional challenge, and we start at ages 3, and our oldest rider right now is 80 plus years old. So you're never too old to appreciate the power of the horse. But we are very, very excited that we have just started a pilot program through the Vets Helping Vets, and it's a veterans program. And it has just been amazing how it can help with the PTSD or any of the injuries that you've received while fighting for our country. So we are so very excited about this program that and we hope to start up in the fall with a full-fledged program, and I hope maybe there's lots of you out there who'd like to join us.
And it is a great program. I signed on, Hank kind of signed me on as a helper, to go out there, because we're part of this great partnership. And I got to actually liking it so much out there that I'm actually going to go through the program and learn all I can about these horses so I can go out there with other veterans that, have disabilities and, especially, this post-traumatic stress syndrome and that we hear so much about and these traumatic brain injuries and awful things that have happened to these, especially the younger veterans. And it's a great program, and it's not only about riding, it's about friendship, and it's about, I think the key, Betty, is relationship.
Absolutely. The horses, I'll tell you, they can relate to so many people, and one of our key factors out there is we let the participant and the horse pick each other. And it'll be amazing how the right horse and the right person bond together, and they become a partner. And you'd be surprised how much relief of your stress you have while you're working with that horse. And we do a lot of groundwork because you can just really feel the strength of the horse comes into you. And it's just amazing. And we find people start talking to their horses, telling them their problems. Mm-hmm. And, that just is like, oh, my gosh. And the horses sit there and listen. And they really feel for you. And it's just amazing.
Sorry, we are up against the break. Gosh, I was so enthralled by what you were saying. I was not paying attention to my board here. Okay, we've got to take a little break. We'll be right back. We got another 15 minutes left in the show. If you have any questions, by the way, you can call in, and the number is 622-9622. We'll be right back with Veterans News after this.
weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Sunshine and some clouds on this Thursday with a thunderstorm around during the afternoon and evening hours, high 88 to 92. Then partly cloudy later Thursday night, though 73 to 77. On Friday, more clouds and sun with a thunderstorm around, especially in the afternoon, the high 87 to 91. Saturday, partly sunny. Watch out for an afternoon thunderstorm, high 87 to 91. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg.
Looking for some great BOGO deals for your yard or garden this week? Then look no further than Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala, where the BOGO focus is on Confederate jasmine and frost-proof gardenias, both buy one, get one free. Also in this week's ad, they've got ever-blooming red ruffle azaleas and other of your favorite azaleas, just $2.99 each. And listen to this, for under $1. Blooming heather, a wonderful ground cover, just 99 cents. Bob has Bear's lemon and Persian lime trees, not $19.99, just $9.99 for these beauties. And still, when you buy a tree, any tree, you get a second tree for half price. Don't forget, no float pine straw, as little as $4.50 a bale. Run, don't walk, to Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens on Southeast 38th Street, just east of Lake Weir Avenue. Daily till 4, Saturdays till 2. We'll see you there.
The very best in quality is Captain T's Upholstery.
Hey, this is Dan. Let me ask you a few questions. Does your boat look better with the cover on? Has your car's interior seen its better days? Stop using a towel to cover up those rips in the golf cart. Isn't it about time you had it restored to better than new with a custom upholstery from Captain T? Captain T's Upholstery has been right here in Ocala for nearly 20 years, so they know how to make your ride one of a kind. Whether you want to take that classic ride back to a factory look or put your favorite sports team front and center, Captain T's Upholstery is who to call. 352-369-1810. That's 352-369-1810. Or stop by their location, 5030 South Pine Avenue in Ocala, just past the drive-in. And of course, don't forget to visit them on the web, CaptainTUpholstery.com.
The very best in quality is Captain T's Upholstery.
I'm Charlie Stone, a conservative businessman, and I've been honored to represent Marion and Levy counties in the Florida House. We've balanced the budget, cut taxes and fees $1 billion, fostered a business climate that created over 1 million new jobs, and we've invested in education and infrastructure. But there's more to do, and I'm ready to cut more waste and needless regulations and protect our freedoms and liberties. I'm Charlie Stone, and I'm asking for your vote for state representative on August 30th.
Paid by Charlie Stone, Republican for state representative.
18 minutes after 9 o'clock, 78 degrees. Let's return to News Bites with Gary Pascale. Gary?
Yeah, but
I'm sorry, Veterans News. I'm sorry. I called it News Bites.
Betty, I just want to say, I think one of the things that impressed me the most, when you talk about matching up the horses and the person, can you talk a little bit about the process, how a person picks the horse?
Sure. Well, what we like to do, we kind of put out 3 or 4 choices of horses, and we kind of turn them loose in the round pen, and the veteran goes in there with the horse and see if they have a connection. And if they don't seem to have a connection with that horse, we'll try another horse. Then all of a sudden, that horse will come right up and just nuzzle the person, and that's a match. And
wow.
And it's amazing how that can happen. I mean, the horses really tune into the minds of our people and can relate to them.
That's amazing.
And just, it's amazing.
Did that happen to you, Gary?
It's funny, Larry, when I had, I think, 3 horses to pick from, and of course the biggest, baddest looking one, was I'm thinking, well, that one was going to be for me. And then I run into this guy by the name of Felice, and first thing I did, kind of hugged his neck, and pet him, and just kind of walked around with him in that little yard they have there, and I just felt the bond. And when I got back, the ladies out there told me, that Felice was allergic to red ants, and he had just had a reaction. And I'm allergic to insect bites, and he's got some aches and pains and bones and some age on him, and so do I, and Felice is kind of cool and slow. So we matched up perfect, and I got to work with Felice a couple times, and then the last time I was out there, I actually got to ride him. And as far as ride, I never thought I'd get to ride a horse. That was my first time. And with the disc disease, a lot of issues and stuff like that. But these great folks out there, Betty, y'all put kids in wheelchairs and stuff on these horses.
Absolutely.
And everything. So it is possible, and it's a great experience. And then when we get done, we journal. And that's a great thing.
Wow. So Felice is your friend?
Felice is my friend for life.
We have a phone call. If you put your headsets on, I'll connect you to the caller. Just Betty, can you hear me on
Yes,
the headset? Okay, and Gary, you can hear me, right?
Yes.
Good morning. You're on the air. Are you there? Go ahead. You're on the air. Oh, they disappeared. Sorry. If you have a question, you are welcome to call. You don't have to have a question. You can just comment. Maybe you've done the Stirrups and Strides program. The number is 622-9622 if you'd like to be on the air and talk about it or ask a question about it. Felice means happy, right?
Absolutely.
So
Felice is, yes, it's party time too, I think. But Felice has been in our program for like 8 years, and he is older. He's 23 years old, and he's one of our mainstay horses that he will take the child that is flinging his arms around and screaming and hitting him in the shoulder or pulling his mane, and he just puts up with it. And then a more advanced rider can get on him, and he says, okay, I'll go to work. He was, in his former life, he was a third-level dressage horse, and he was imported from Germany.
Really?
Yes, and he was a very high, fancy show horse.
Wow.
And he is just fantastic. And so our program gives a lot of these older horses another life. After they're through their show life, they have someplace to go and to be useful.
We got to come out again. It's been so long since we went out there.
I wish you would come out.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I'd love you to see our new covered arena that we just erected, and we hope to be having classes in that this fall. So we're doing a lot of fundraising for that to finish it off, and it's just amazing to be able to get undercover when it's raining and keeping our people out of the sun too.
Yeah.
So many people with disabilities cannot be out in the heat of the sun. Plus our volunteers, and we rely on lots of volunteers to make the program happen.
I didn't know Felice was in Germany. I did 3 years in Germany. That's another thing.
Oh, wow.
Next time I get out there, I'm going to have to do the old Sprechen Sie Deutsch with them. Yeah.
It's amazing. Some of these horses, lots of the horses understand what we say. And lots of horses that are imported from Germany will know German. And, it's...
Really?
Yeah. And, like I have my own personal show horse, which is a Morgan, and when I turn him out and I just, when I want him in, I just say, Cookie, and he puts his ears up and comes running right over to me.
I do the same thing.
Because he knows I have a carrot. So they do learn, they're not dumb animals like some people think they are. They have so many wonderful qualities about them, and they sure can make people feel good.
Well, I'm an animal lover in general, and, I hadn't been around horses, but the before part of the program is, I just think, the greatest. When you get out there, there's 3 different brushes you brush the horse with.
Mm-hmm.
They clean the feet, which I'm unable to do because I have trouble bending over. But the brushing is really nice, and then getting the knots out of the mane and the and the tail, just like you would. It reminded me when I used to brush my daughter's hair, and the animal just loves it. But the best part of all was, I think when I got to wash Felice's face, And,
Really?
he just kind of liked it, and he kind of lifted his head up, and
Feels good
it all,
to him, yeah.
And then they give him a big old kiss and another hug, and it's just,
Wow.
you can almost feel the horse saying, I really like that. I kind of like you, and it's just a great bond, and whatever troubles you might have brought there with you, you're not going to bring home.
No.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely
awesome.
not.
I think Don was asking if you brush the teeth.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't, but
No, we don't brush
no.
their teeth.
You don't brush horses' teeth?
But
No?
we do have a tooth dentist comes in and
Oh,
they
really?
file their teeth
Oh.
because they get sharp. So you have to keep them smooth, and we usually do it once a year so that they can have a good bite, just like we want to have a good bite, so
Yeah,
they can chew
yeah.
their food well.
Yeah.
Yes, but we usually don't, and they will take some plaque off when the tooth dentist comes in. They will take a little plaque off on the teeth, but besides that, they.
Well, why do you think, what is exactly happening that this is therapeutic? And it sounds like fun, but how does this, and I know I've heard hundreds of stories from people who say this is therapeutic, not only from you, Betty, but from veterans and other people who've had other PTSD type of circumstances.
The bonding of the horse, I mean, there is just I call it magic. There is magic in a horse that provides this bonding with people that can just help you forget about your worries and your stress. And I do have a story that from maybe 5-6 years ago about this young lady that was just, she would sit home, she wouldn't get out, she just froze if she went out in the community. And she was in her teenager, 18, 19 years old. And she started working with the horses with us, and she was just afraid to be dominant and say, and this horse, every time he went into a stall, there was a pile of hay there, and he would stop and bring the bale of hay in the stall with him. He clumped this 50-pound bale of hay. And we told her, I said, now you just need to be stern and tell him he can't do that. And he's not going to love you any less. She was so afraid that this horse would not like her if she made him do what she wanted. And so she finally got him in the stall without him grabbing that bale of hay to get a bite of hay. And she went in there, and she found the horse still loved her and still wanted to be with her. And it changed this young lady's life. She became a social worker, working with kids up in Alaska, helping kids with disabilities and with mental problems similar to what she had.
Really?
Yes,
Really?
all because of this horse.
And her problem was a social problem, it sounds like.
It was, and she just petrified to get out and to be with other people.
Wow.
She would even be afraid to go to the grocery store.
Wow.
So, it's just, horses can do so much because they're going to love you if you don't do something just right, or if you get after them a little bit. But you learn that you can be their boss or help them and tell them what's right and wrong, and they're still going to love you.
How many vets have participated so far, Gary?
Well, we got myself, we got Jose, we got Gene Beal, and there's another one we're going to bring on probably next week. So that'll make 4 of us. And
that's bonanza. You could have a bonanza.
Exactly. Yeah. The most interesting thing I've seen out there, and what amazed me the most, though, the first time out there that Jose and I were there, it's like an oval arena that they ride the horses in. There was a blind lady there, an older blind lady, and we put 4 beepers around, the thing.
Really?
And of course, first time one of the volunteers walked the horse around. The second time with the beeps, that the blind lady could hear the beep.
Wow.
She could actually keep the horse on track to go around and actually go through some obstacles that they have there and everything. I mean, it just amazed me. I had never saw anything like that. So, I think the program is just awesome for everybody.
And we have a lady that is blind. She's in her 80s, and the very first time she never thought she'd ever ride a horse. And she not only is independent rider, she does a drill team with my daughter. And I blow a whistle when they're supposed to turn. But she can do barrel racing at a trot with the beepers on the barrels.
Oh, that's amazing.
And because each beeper has a different tone to it. So they know, like we put them in the 4 corners, they know what corner they're in because of the tone.
Betty and Gary, we have 40 seconds left if you want to close us out, Gary.
Well, Betty, can you give a way to get in contact with you real quick?
Absolutely. You can call Stirrups and Strides at 352-427-3666. 3569, or go on our website at www.stirrupsandstrides.com. And you can find information on our website, and you can call us and email us.
And Citra is the best town in the state of Florida. And with that, I'll just say for Hank Whittier, God bless America.
From the mountain.
Fox News Radio, I'm Roger Stern. A new Fox News poll shows Hillary Clinton leading Donald Trump by 10 points, 49% to 30%.